So, are you always this quiet? If you're an introvert, you've probably heard that more times than you can count. Maybe you just smiled politely and shrugged. But inside, you were probably busy building a mental map of the conversation, analyzing tone, context, and where the exits are in case this turns into small talk about the weather again. Introverts may not always be the loudest voice in the room, but that doesn't mean they're not doing powerful, extraordinary work behind the scenes. In fact, when it comes to thinking deeply, working independently, or really listening to someone's soul-level story, introverts are the secret superstars. Let's walk through 7 areas where introverts quietly but impressively shine. 1. Deep thinking and problem solving. Ever seen someone stare out a window for 45 minutes only to drop a brilliant solution like it came from another dimension? That's an introvert's version of a mic drop. While extroverts may thrive in lively brainstorming sessions, introverts approach problems like a slow cooker. No sizzling sounds, but something delicious is brewing underneath. They think in layers, follow threads, and connect dots others didn't even know were on the table. Einstein once said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." And he wasn't kidding. That famous hair of his probably messed up from all the brain waves firing during solo contemplation. Why introverts excel here? They process deeply rather than react impulsively. They're comfortable sitting with ambiguity. Their insights tend to be original because they're not just parroting groupthink. So if you've got a gnarly, tangled up problem, hand it to an introvert, give them space, and wait for the magic. 2. Working independently and rushing it. Imagine this. You walk into a quiet room, one introvert, laptop open, headphones in. There's a peaceful stillness and a ridiculous amount of productivity happening. Introverts thrive in solitude like fish in water. They don't need check-ins every 15 minutes, don't crave applause, and certainly don't need Karen from accounting swinging by to ask, "How's it going?" Just give them the task. They'll get it done, and probably better than you expected. Why they shine here? Minimal distractions equals maximum flow state. They don't waste energy performing or competing. Autonomy gives them space to innovate. Remote work? More like remote domination. 3. Talking about real stuff, or not at all. Small talk to an introvert is like chewing cardboard, awkward, flavorless, and nobody knows why we're doing it. So, how was your weekend? Productive? Cue existential dread. But when the conversation actually matters, that's when an introvert comes alive. It's 2 a.m. and suddenly they're diving into the one childhood memory that still makes them flinch. The philosophical difference between fear and regret. Whether they'd make it in a zombie apocalypse and what books they'd bring. Why this matters. Introverts aren't avoiding connection, they're just skipping the surface level fluff. When they talk, it's real, honest, and often unforgettable. Think of it like this. They don't hate talking. They hate wasting words. 4. Observing the unspoken. Ever seen someone who notices everything? The twitch of an eyebrow, the microsecond pause in someone's voice, the way 2 coworkers keep pretending they're just friends? That's probably an introvert. While others are distracted by the noise, they're tuned into the quiet signals. They're like emotional ninjas. They catch the mood of a room in seconds. They notice when something feels off before it's said. They remember small details that make others feel deeply seen. Why they excel here? Observation is their superpower. They watch before they speak, process before they act, and often know things no one ever told them because they were paying attention. Introverts, part-time humans, full-time lie detectors. 5. Writing with depth and emotion. Put a microphone in front of an introvert and ask them to speak from the heart. Panic. Put a keyboard in front of them and give them time to think. Poetry. Many introverts express themselves best in writing. It gives them space to gather thoughts, layer meaning, and express emotion without interruption. Whether it's journaling, storytelling, or writing a caption that unexpectedly makes someone cry, they get the power of words. Why they excel. Writing is internal first, perfect for introspection. No pressure to respond instantly, so depth emerges. They're not trying to impress, they're trying to connect. Think about this. Many of the greatest authors, poets, and lyricists in history were introverts. Coincidence? Not likely. 6. Leading quietly but powerfully. Not all leaders need to bark orders or deliver speeches that shake the room. Some lead with presence, not volume. They guide through trust, consistency, and calm. Introverts might not be the ones pounding the table, but they're the ones everyone turns to when things go sideways. They think things through. They listen before speaking. They make decisions rooted in why, not just what. Think of leaders like Barack Obama, measured, thoughtful, respected. Rosa Parks, a single quiet act that sparked a movement. Warren Buffett, letting the numbers and wisdom do the talking. Why introverts excel as leaders. They lead with empathy and emotional intelligence. They empower others rather than overshadowing them. They avoid drama and focus on results. So, no, they're not flashy, but they're the kind of leaders people remember. 7. Listening like a pro. Most people listen to respond. Introverts, they listen to understand. They're the ones who remember your dog's name and his favorite chew toy. Ask how that difficult family situation turned out weeks later. Stay silent while you vent, then drop a quiet insight that makes you cry, in a good way. In a world that's increasingly loud, true listeners are rare. And introverts, they're gold. Why they're incredible listeners? They don't interrupt or compete for airtime. They mirror and validate emotions. They build trust without trying too hard. That's why you often find them in roles like therapist, counselor, coach, or that friend you can always text at 2 a.m. So, what can we learn from this? If you're an introvert, here's your reminder. You don't need to change to be powerful. You already are in your own way. Your silence isn't emptiness. Your solitude isn't loneliness. Your stillness isn't weakness. You are a deep thinker, a soulful writer, a detail spotting, story absorbing, strategy brewing ninja of insight and empathy. And the world needs you badly. Try this if you're an introvert. 1. Block out quiet time each day, not as a luxury, but a requirement. 2. Keep a deep thought journal. You'll be amazed what surfaces. 3. Lean into your writing, blog, post, email, whatever suits you. 4. Trust your instincts in conversation. You don't need to fill the silence. 5. Volunteer to lead in your style. You don't have to shout to inspire. In the end, it's not about being loud or quiet. It's about being true to how you work best and owning that with confidence. So next time someone asks, "Why are you so quiet?" smile. And remember, quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means everything is happening just beneath the surface.